what your why is. Every company has a mission statement, and this is really just your own personal mission statement. And it can be your mission statement for your business, but I think it's really important that you have that defined for what your purpose in life is, or what your purpose in business is, and what that why is going to drive you to be a little bit more successful. So your why essentially serves as a compass for your life, how you're going to go about life, how you're going to go about business, how you're going to treat others, how you're going to work with others. You know, whatever that why is for you is going to lead you directionally to help you reach your goals and dreams. So it gives you a reason and a purpose. It forces you to make choices from your intrinsic motivation, and a clear why statement attracts people who believe what you believe, more importantly. And so let that be one of your more vital points when starting a business or a friendship or whatever it may be. Let that why shine through. So I want to encourage everybody, if you don't have a why or your own personal mission statement, to kind of take some time to think about that. And we're going to talk about how you come up with your why. And I want to encourage you to write it down, memorize it, think about it on a daily basis, post it on your wall in your office, leave it as your screen saver on your computer, whatever it may be, and then share it with others as well. Share it with your team members, share it with potential prospects, because it's going to be an attracting force to what you're doing.
Can I mention something about that, Dan, about the why and the motivation? As it so happens, this week, I've spent quite a lot of time with a group of first responders, firefighters, and I'm blown away by the passion and by the motivation of these people, the firefighters, the first responders, who have absolutely dedicated themselves to helping as much as possible everybody. But within that is something interesting. There's a camaraderie of teamwork where it's almost a sort of a blood brothers group. And there, at least in the one that I was in this week, they started 10 years ago with just an idea of, the firefighters, why are we doing this? What are we doing? And so on. And today they've developed even a little hospital where they are, and they got several doctors, they've got an ER room, and they've even got a CAT scan. I mean, they've really taken their mission to another level. So the why starts off with, say, I want to do something, but that can develop into something really, really big. In fact, there's 7,000 firefighters in that particular group with their families. They see 150 patients a day in that clinic. So I'm just trying to say that the why, which if we can find it, and we must, and we have to, and we should, can develop into something really, really much bigger than we even envisaged.
Yeah, so you can start off as an individual thing, right? And then it can start out, kind of evolve into a mission statement for an entire group or an entire team or an entire organization. And so, how do you go about defining your why? You need to keep questioning why you do things you do. And if you do that, you'll eventually find your own personal why in life. And so, how do you find your why in life? Ask as many questions as possible. Ask a lot of questions of yourself, of those around you, how they see you. And so, I'm just going to run through a few questions that you can ask yourself when you're developing your why. Why do you do this? Why do you do this business? Or why do you do anything that you do in life? Why do I value this over that? Why do you do one thing instead of doing another? Why am I not happy when X happens? Why am I happy when X happens? Why am I stressed now? Why are you doing what you're doing? And that's ultimately what's going to help you move forward in life. So some common answers to those questions that I just mentioned You can have a why that is, providing for your family, a why that is going to ultimately lead to success. Your why can be leaving a legacy for your family, or just in general in society, feeling loved, having a positive impact on the lives of others, and then ultimately financial success. So to find your personal why in life, you really have to take a shovel and dig down deep into your conscious mind. And so how do you start digging? By asking yourself those questions above, right? And that's how you're going to develop and cultivate your why. And like I said, you want to keep that close to you. You want to memorize it. You want to share it with others. Keep it somewhere where it's a constant reminder of what your personal mission statement is.
And also, bear in mind that every single person has his or her own personality, which is influenced by their upbringing, by their families, even by ethnic groups, and by all sorts of things that come into it. So everybody's why may be different. But the important thing, and this is where our job becomes interesting and fascinating, and I think where it's really good, is where we can try and knit together into a common goal everybody's why. So somebody may have a why about wanting to, do something for humanity, like a doctor, for example, or somebody may just want to have a why of having peace of mind in an 8-to-4 job. And everybody's why is different, but our job is to try and identify all of these different personalities and these different reasons, and to knit them together into a cohesive focus forward, which accommodates everybody's why. So, and we can do that because we have all the tools at our disposal to be able to help everybody, really.
Yeah, we're knitting all of those different personalities, all of those different psyches, all knitting them all into one common goal, on our teams in this business. And so it's important to come up with a why that you really believe in, that's your mission statement, and it's going to attract others to join us and join that mission as well. So when you start talking about your why, for most people, Simon Sinek comes to mind. His book, I think came out in 2008 or 2011. I can't remember, but he gives some specific questions to ask yourself on top of the ones that I already mentioned. So the first step to think about when you are trying to figure out your why is to answer some of these questions. When are you at your best? When are you at your worst? What are you passionate about? When do you feel more energized? What is the core purpose of your role, and why does it matter? So those are all important questions. There's a ton of different questions that you can ask yourself, and share with your team members as well, and what their thoughts are on what you're doing, what your why might be, based on their interactions with you. But most importantly, you want to make sure that you have a defined why. So, there's a number of different reasons, and there's some psychological reasons that are important that we get from defining our why. But first and foremost, I just want to mention that there's how do you structure your why statement? You want to make it simple, short, easy to understand. Doesn't include what's, the tangible things that we do. It needs to be clear, concise, and understood without further explanation. So, I'm just going to give you one quick example, and one of those is to leave a positive impact on people's lives so that they can realize their true potential. So it's a 2 plus what your contribution is, so that you have an impact, right? So that's kind of the format that you want to follow. Once you have your why, it can be a very powerful statement. It can help guide your future decisions, your future business, your future relationships. So it can be very powerful, but most importantly, I believe that it's powerful from a psychological standpoint. So that there's a number of reasons. I researched a little bit what those psychological factors can be. So, and first of all, having a strong sense of purpose creates a powerful positive effect on what you're doing. So when you have a sense of purpose, you never get up in the morning wondering, what are you going to do that day? What are you going to do with yourself? What are you going to do with your team? What are you going to do with others that you come into contact with on a daily basis? You have a defined purpose every morning when you wake up for what your mission statement is and how you're going to go about your day. First and foremost, that's one of the most important reasons. And so why does this have a positive effect? There's a number of different reasons for that. First of all, it makes us less vulnerable when we have a mission statement or a why statement. It doesn't create psychological discord, meaning you're not conflicted as to what your goals are and what your purpose in life is. So it's the fundamental sense of unease we often experience whenever our attention isn't occupied by external things. We can manifest, those things can manifest in boredom, anxiety, and depression if you don't have a defined purpose, right? And basically we're just defining our purpose in life. And if you don't have a purpose in life, there's some negative effects that can have. And so another important factor is that aligning ourselves to a purpose makes us less self-centered, which is very important, right? Because then we're doing things for others, for our team members. We're not just doing things egotistically. We start to feel a part of something bigger, something outside ourselves. And this helps us to be less focused on our own worries and anxieties when you have that purpose in place.
Dan, on the purpose of life, it's a little bit like plotting your journey if you're a pilot flying between destination A and B, and you know where you want to go, and then the ancillary factors that come into it are the wind, tailwind, side wind, and different things that put us off course. And those are the things that cause our own doubts and our own feelings of discomfort. If we start off with a definite purpose statement and a definite mission, a definite something that we can visualize and we know exactly where we want to go, then these other forces that come in and distract us and kind of upset us a little bit won't be that big a deal, because we know exactly where we're going and why we want to get there. So that's the overriding strength that we need to have to offset all these minor challenges that come up every day.
Yeah, exactly. And if we don't have that direction, it's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to get sidetracked. And then the negative of that is that when you get sidetracked, when you don't have a definite purpose, you start to get overrun with all these extraneous things around you because you're not hyper focused. And so having this purpose is going to keep you more focused. It's going to push those distractions away from you on a daily basis and let you remain steadfast in reaching your goals and your mission statement. And so, why do you need to have a life purpose? What's the importance of that? One of the things is that life purpose, it's a starting point, right? It's the first step to living a conscious life of knowing exactly what you want to do, how you're going to do it, and when you're going to get there, right? So setting those goals alongside your personal mission statement. So, you can become busy with a million tasks every day when you don't have a clear purpose. So it can really help you, hinder you and lead you down the wrong path. So having a defined purpose is very important for keeping you focused, pushing those distractions away, and helping you reach your ultimate goals.
And if I could also say that, when we are on our journey of whatever path we've chosen and we attain some success, that success fuels our enthusiasm and it fuels our passion to go even further. So we get more and more involved in a very passionate way, where we can even though our mission statement or our plan of action or to our goal, once we start savoring success, then we say, well, I could do a bit more than that. I can actually achieve further. And that's when we start getting creative. And that's when we start feeling good about who we are and what we're doing. And then we see that there's really no limitations to what we do. So it's all a mindset about starting off with something that you start off with a why. I mean, when we're kids, we might have some ideas and then we change them. But when we start on that journey and we start feeling something positive, and it's just like a stepping stone to a higher level of exhilaration. And that's when we get creative. And that's when we start to really develop all kinds of things that are unlimited in possibilities. It's exciting.
Of course, and it also helps to provide clarity, right? Clarity on what's important versus what is unimportant. Helps you to pursue a life of purpose and direction and meaning. It adds all of those things, and when it's something that's kind of altruistic, it's going to draw other people in that with like-minded thought process to help bond the group and all have a mission that you're all striving for. And then when you pursue your purpose, it adds kind of drive and passion, right? It can give you a burst of energy to constantly be staying on that path to meeting that goal or living a life that's defined by your why. And that's going to help keep you going because it's going to keep you energized. You always have something that you're striving for. And then ultimately it's going to help lead to success. So a lot of people look for success as an end in itself. But success is an effort of doing what you love and having a clear plan, goals, skills versus something you aim for as an end result in itself.
And also, conversely to that, the reason it's important to be able to have that stepping stone forward is because if we don't stay in the zone and we lose sight of that and we get distracted and then something negative happens, our entire psyche changes and we're not as productive. We're not as euphoric about what we're doing. We kind of get distracted by any kind of thing that's, when I say negative, it's just something that's a distraction. And then we lose focus. So it's important to stay on that mission and not be emotionally drained by any mishap that happens on the way. Don't even look at it. It's like a water on a duck's back. Keep us strong.
Use your why statement or your mission statement to remain focused, remain disciplined, be consistent, all of those things that we talk about on a daily basis. Your why statement can help you do that. And ultimately it's going to help you reach a higher level of success. So I would just want to encourage anybody who hasn't taken the time to write down their own why statement or their mission statement to maybe spend today or the weekend thinking about what you want that to be. And, maybe through the weekend by Sunday night, make sure that you have a mission statement that you can write down that's going to give you that focus, going to lead you down the correct path that you want to live in both personally and in business, and try and get that defined over the weekend. I think that's all I have. Lawrence, do you have anything else to add?
No, I just would add that these are exciting times, and there's Grace Martin is brand new, and she has taken this ball and run with it. She's listened to all of the calls. She's been on every call. She's seen all the videos, and she's inspired by what she's seen. And for her own self now, she is really motivated to reach her goals. And this is an event which she did everything. She did the 10 by 10. I mean, really a 10 by 10 banner behind it. So it's exciting. Just motivate yourself, find your own why, and help others do the same. And it's just a duplication.
Right, and she shared her why with us on our Tuesday night team call. You know, she's a pharmacist by profession, has a couple of small children, and she wants to spend more time, be able to spend more time with her children. So she, you know, that's part of her why. I don't think that that's necessarily her entire why, but she has a why defined as to why, you know, why she wants to be successful in this business. And so, you know, we should all have that forethought that's going to drive us to reach whatever goals we want to reach in this business and in life.
Right.
Any, I think we have a little bit of time for some comments, questions. Anybody have anything to
Yeah.
add?
I'd like to add, Dan, to what Dan said. Write down your why this weekend, your major definite purpose, but don't just write it down and stick it in a drawer. I've got mine posted on my bathroom mirror. I read it every morning when I wake up, and I read it every evening when I go to bed. And it's very motivating, and it keeps you from losing track. This call today is one of the best we've had in a while. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Michael. All right, if there's no other questions or comments, Lawrence, do you have anything else to add, or were you okay to wrap it up?
Okay, thanks very much, Dan. Thank you, and I apologize.
Thanks,
I'm
everybody.
sort of a bit off base here, but thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. Thanks, Dan.
Good luck today.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Have a great weekend. Good luck, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you.